'74, out in that California sun, a big kid on a BMX bike, man, the legend had begun. 6'1", 200 pounds of pure drive. When that gate dropped down, the whole track came alive. They called him Stompin Stu, yeah, the nickname fit just right, 'cause he turned that dusty start gate into pure electric light. From the dirt of SoCal to the stories we still tell, every lap he carved in time still rings like a freedom bell. Stompin Stu, riding like the early dawn from that Yamaha Gold Cup. He kept pushing, moving on. FMF to SC, red line to Huffy too. Every jersey that he wore showed the fire burning through. He raced the world, he gave his all. Free Hall of Fame, still answer his call. Your dreams take flight, and some of them come true with Stompin Stu.
Go Team USA!
Guy Cooper, we are at CoopFest 2026.
It's a good day. It's sunshiny and the track's good. We got lots of people here, and we just try to make it better every year. I'm happy with the way it's looking. We had a lot of rain this week, but the track's shaping up.
Hey, Woody, we're here out at CoopFest 2026. You having a good time?
Yeah, pretty amazing event. Very cool BMX track and a great collection of vintage BMX bikes.
Fabulous. There's so many people from everywhere who love vintage bikes, who love racing them, and we're just here having a great time. This is the very first time I have been here to Cooperstown, and I look forward to being back.
Awesome. We'd love to have you back.
Well, thank you.
All right. Let's have a good day.
All right.
At CoopFest, the golden age of BMX comes roaring back to life.
Located in Stillwater, Oklahoma, events like this remind us of our roots. Not just through the bikes and the racing, but through the people who forged the sport's identity. Among those riders stands a giant, a name spoken with the weight of the sport itself. Stu Thomsen. Stompin Stu wasn't just a racer. He was a force that defined an era. From the earliest days of BMX to the rise of national championships, Stu's power, precision, and unmistakable presence set a high standard. Here at CoopFest, surrounded by the culture he helped build, Stu sat down with us to revisit the journey that continues to echo through every corner of the sport.
Stu, thank you so much for the time today. We're here at CoopFest 2026.
Yes, we are.
You having a good time?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Just a real quick history. Your prime competitive years, we say they were 76 to 85?
I think the prime would have been like 70s. I mean, yeah, those were my racing years. Prime wise, maybe 77 to 83. Those were like the golden years, you know. Because the early ones were kind of the formation, getting my skill level, my set, getting around, getting a reputation as a competitor. And then towards the end, it was like, you know, all the new guys are coming up. The old guys are getting phased out.
Yeah.
You know, I was considered, well, at least I considered myself as I was kind of getting kind of beat by the young up and comers.
Uh-huh.
And it was time to step aside.
Yeah.
85 was like, yeah, time to go.
That was the time.
Plus I mean, my goal in life was race till I was 30. So at 85, you know, I was getting ready to turn 30. So that was a good time to go.
Can you take us back to when you like really, really like, I really want to get into this sport? Was that at the Bums?
You know, I think that was just my first experience with actual grouped racing structure. You know, everything else was just kids in the fields, you know, riding around each other and having fun. But this was actually a structured thing, you know, where there's other guys that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And you get nervous and, you know, you want to do the best you can, but you don't know who you're racing against. So, I mean, that was a kind of an eye-opening experience as the organizational skills got better and better for the racing. But that was a pivot point. I liked it. I liked the thrill. I liked the stress of it, the anxiety getting ready and wanting to do the best you could.
Yeah, think about your accolades. I mean, there's so many to discuss. There's like too much to discuss here. I know, but there's some that I think they're so impressive. I just want to share that. So multiple winner of Bicycle Motocross Action's #1 racer award, Nora Cup.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. Gosh, let's see. First pro to earn national #1 play twice and to do so consecutively at 77, 78. The first pro to win #1 pro title with 3 different major sanctioned bodies, NBA, NBL, and ABA.
Yep. Someone has to start the trend. You know, it's probably been beaten by now, but, you know, records are meant to be broken.
There's just so many. I'm just so impressed. And then after the racing, you started the Stu Thomsen bicycle set with your wife, Tanya?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what I wanted to do after racing. And, you know, did I want to stay within the bicycle industry? Did I want to become a consultant or work in some form or fashion and within the industry? Or did I want to branch out, break away from that, but still stay involved in bicycling? Because I consider myself a cyclist. I'll cycle forever. And so we decided that, you know, let's try a bike shop. Felt like a fun idea. So we ran that for 8 years. You know, they're really successful. There were some very stressful times. And it was, I figured we figured out that it was like not going to be for us forever. So we decided to pull out.
And that was the part where you branched out. You still love the sport,
Yeah.
but you branched out, and that's when you got with the California or the sheriff's deputy,
Yeah.
Orange County,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. Obviously, there were about 2.5, 3 years of odd, what am I going to do, type things. And I just decided that career in law enforcement seemed to be the best thing for me because I really enjoy helping people, talking with people, fixing problems and, just doing the best I can, and I figured law enforcement, not everybody's a thug and a mean guy and take advantage of people. So, I helped people.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And then you retired from law enforcement in 2018.
Yep. Did just shy of 25 years, 24 years. And it was just time to go. So I got out.
And, being there at the golden years of BMX, you saw a lot of change. I mean, the early days, we had homemade jumps, loose dirt. The rules were still forming.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to see that transformation.
Yep.
How did that go? And then working with racing with those 3 different NBA, they had different rules.
Yeah, they had different rules, different qualifications. But all in all, you're still lining up against the gate and there's still a finish line. All the politics that land in the middle for that 30-second or 40-second run, it disappears. And your main goal is to be your competitor. And whether it's a 1 moto and a transfer or a 3 moto total points thing. The nice thing about the pros is that we always rode a total points system, no matter which organization it was. Yeah. So ABA typically, at the time ABA is now it's USA BMX, but they do the transfer system where if you win your first moto, you're transferred out. For the pros, we always ran a 3 moto transfer system. So low points advances.
Now, when you're racing back in that period, if I asked who were some of your top competitors, are there like a top 3 names that come?
If you look at the magazines, the hype is, Greg Hill, the Pattersons, Brant and Brian. You can go back further. Any of the guys that were on the gate, there were no slouchers. So at any time, anybody can beat it. You have Tommy Brackens, you have Mike Miranda. You go back earlier, you're looking at, John George, Johnny Palferman, Kramer, Marvin Church. It goes back. But each and every guy at any point could have won that race.
What an incredible group of people you just mentioned there. That's amazing. Kind of going through like your sponsors, like early at Webco, DG, FMS, and then we go into SE.
Yep.
And Red Light, and then Hussey. And I'm a little biased. I rode for SE for 3 years, so I've got to ask about that. How was it like racing for SE?
Well, SE was good. SE was basically FMF because Scott Breithaupt ran FMF. And he was the competitor. FMF, obviously, is a motorcycle company that was trying to branch into BMX.
Yeah.
As was DG, and I was on DG before FMF. So they were a motorcycle company trying to get into the BMX scene.
Yeah.
So I went from DG, and then Scott pulled me over to FMF. So I rode for Scott at FMF, and then Scott decided that he wanted to come out with Scott Enterprises Racing. That's where it's SE. And so he pulled me over, and I rode with him in the early years of SE before there was even a product.
Oh, wow.
It was just a name.
Okay.
There were no SC bikes.
Oh, wow.
So I pretty much rode a gauntlet of different bikes. I pretty much settled in the early years of SC racing. I rode Mongoose. And at the time, Skip Hess made some of the Mongoose frames were a little bit longer in the front end. I couldn't tell you if it was a 1/4 inch or an inch and a half.
Yeah.
They were a little bit longer, so they fit the bigger guys. So then Scott eventually marketed. He originally was working with the frame builder that built the FMFs, trying to work on an aluminum bike for the SC scene. And then he came out, the PK Ripper came out first, but actually it wasn't really the PK Ripper at first. It was going to be the JU6, which is after Jeff Utterback. And, but he branched off with his dad, to make DJS. So they had to rebrand the name. So then they, they gave it to Perry. And there's a couple other bikes in there that, hit and miss, through the evolution of SE racing. But those were good formative years. Scott taught me a lot about self-confidence and being a good competitor. Helped me with talking with kids, because we would do, seminars. We go across country and we would, do race seminars and teaching clinics and stuff like that. So radio interviews, and we get into town ahead of time when we we do interviews on the radio with the local AM stations or whatever they were. So speaking skills helped out a lot, and just immerse into being a good public figure.
As you transition into life, like after BMX, when other things begin to occupy your time, how would you say like the sport prepared you for life? Like, are there things that you took with you?
Well, I think about that a lot. And I think it had to do with just being able to communicate with people on a level that mutually the two people can come to an agreement. So I had a lot of interaction with the kids, signing autographs and stuff like that, and obviously the parents would be in the background seeing that, and, they see him what a good sports person. Because, I don't know how far this was going to take me, but I didn't want to have, I kind of wanted to have a nice name, a nice reputation within the sport. So I treated people like I would want to be treated. A lot of that comes through my upbringing with my parents, opening doors for people, being respectful. Thank you. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Being polite. And, nobody wants to come up to an idol or someone that you're aspiring to be like, and the guy's a jerk. And that doesn't look good for anybody. So I just did the best I can. And then, in going into real life things, especially working in retail, you're talking to the customer, you're trying to understand what their needs are, and you try to help them out the best you can. And then that translated into law enforcement. And, not every day you're drawing your gun and chasing people and doing stuff like that. The bulk of your calls are, there's a family argument. You got to go try to figure out what's going on, or there's a death in the family and you got to consult them. So, there's touchy-feely sides of the profession that people just don't really know about. It's not about pulling cars over and handcuffing people. Those are things that happen. But, when we go to someone's house, we're not always there for birthdays and celebrations. We're there to fix a problem that has evolved, and they can't do it themselves. So, we come aboard. But, you talk to people and you help them out and you do the best you can, and on to the next week. You shut the door, and then next thing you know, your radio lights up and you're off to the next call, and just do the best you can, because, you want to be helpful. You want to be remembered as somebody that gave you some help in life. And
that's great.
And I've had some people, necessarily in law enforcement, there was a few people that recognize me, but I would say, I have a lot of people will communicate, through social media about, you were a good role model when you came to this track, and you took the time to say hi to me and sign an autograph. And I saw how you were a professional racer and this and that helped me in my life. And people have commented on thanking me for what I did for the sports that helped them in life. Wow. To become a better person, as a businessman, father, mother, however it was. And that's very, I use the word a lot, humbling to me to have someone think of me that helped form their lives.
That's incredible.
And this is like, maybe I met them when they were 12 or 14 years old. Yeah. And I'm communicating them now when they're like 45, 50 years old.
But you left an impact on them.
Yeah, I still don't believe it, but yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
When people look back on your career, like 50 years from now, how do you want your legacy to be remembered?
Just somebody that cared, did the best they could, and left a mark on the sport. Whether or not in 50 years the sport is known for the people that brought it up. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I never really follow stickball sports, football, baseball. I don't really follow all that stuff. So I really couldn't tell you who's in the, where did baseball start?
Right.
Who are the main people? And I don't know. I don't know that. But if I was into that, then I would want to know, hey, how did baseball start? Who were the key players and what, how did it evolve? So people that get into BMX, I would hope that they researched back to how BMX started and who were the pioneers, who were the people that helped get to where it is now. That's all I ask. People know the history. They know the history.
I couldn't agree more.
And, and every year, I'll come out and I'll do a couple of vintage races, and just everybody in their life will have their 15 minutes of fame somewhere.
Yeah.
But I try to do it about every year or so I can just extend that 15 minutes.
Well, man, Stu, thank you so much for sharing your story and being out here at CoopFest. And I think you're going to be racing. Maybe?
I'm going to ride. Yeah, they have a buddy of mine, Kevin Cleveland. He's a big collector of bikes, and he's got a real nice period correct red line PL24.
Oh, you're
so
right.
I'm going to saddle up on that. I rode it yesterday at the track, and it was. I don't remember it riding as good as it did when I rode it in 84. I loved it in 84. 2026, it rides a little different.
I can imagine.
But I'm just going to play on it and have fun.
Awesome.
That's all I can do is have fun. I'm a cyclist. I love riding bikes.
Yeah. And thank you so much for, contributing to the sport in the way that you have. Being a role model for people and making an impact on lives you might not ever know, and it's still being here, making your trip to CoopFest. Yeah, we're so glad you're here. And
I tried to fly under the radar to come here. I didn't want to promote it too much because, I didn't want to, because there's a lot of things that have been happening in life. And there's some venues that I've committed to go to and I've had to cancel. Yeah. And that doesn't look good.
Sure.
So I just said, I've been wanting to come here, but I just, I'm going to pay my own way. I'm going to, hook up with some friends and just have some fun and not be on the poster and not be highlighted or put on a pedestal, because I just wanted to be one of the people and just have fun.
Yeah. And it's just being out here hanging out with Guy and Wanda Cooper to try and
but you tracked me down and here we are. But I'm okay with that because it's par for the course.
Yeah.
And it happens and I'm good with it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
When Stu talks, his stories are the architecture of a movement that grew from raw ambition into a global culture. From the Yamaha Gold Cup to the Halls of Fame, his journey proves what happens when talent meets tenacity. His presence here at CoopFest is a reminder that true legends never stop inspiring. At Riders Ready Vintage BMX, we honor everyone who used their courage and passion to build this sport from the ground up. We thank Stu, not just for his time, but for his enduring contributions. As we wrap up this episode, our only question is, who's next?
Champ at 16, Jag Pro World in 78, he rode like a machine. #1 pro in the NBL, AB points stacked so high you couldn't even tell. A Chevy van for winning, yeah, that's how they paid the best. But Stu just grinned and lined back up, chasing one more test. Rider of the year in 7-7, Nora Cup shining like stars up in heaven. Super BMX crowned him king in 82, but the truest glory came in the lives that he pushed through. AB Hall of Fame in 86, US Bicycle and Hall in 98, then the NBL in 2008. legend is true. With Stompin Stu. With Stompin Stu.
He makes 1 and 2. I don't know who anybody is.
Here's the lineup. Number 67, Tony Sewell, a young second-year college student in Southern California. Then number 9, Eric Roop, next to him, looking around and eyeing the competition. Number 7, Toby Henderson, also of Southern California. Then next to Henderson, number 6, that's Brent Patterson. Number 8, Scott Clark, another brave BMXer from Southern California. Number 1, Stu Thomsen, big Stu Thomsen. Been racing for so long. 51, the only Nebraska rider in the race, Gregory Grubbs. Number 4, Brian Patterson out of California. The main event is on the line.
Here it is, number 1 of the April main event. We've got Eric Roop out there again. We've got big Stu Thomsen is not messing around with this one. Come up to the double jumps. It's Stu Thomsen. It's Patterson. It's Eric Roop. And it's Brian Grubbs. Brian Patterson in second. It's Thomsen. Brian Patterson. It's got Clark mixed moves.
Stu Thomsen, when the chips are down, this kid can come through, and he's come through. On the back of his leather, as you can see, it says still the one. And he's still the one out in front as he goes wide. But coming apart on the inside, number 4, Brian Patterson. They head for the checkered flag. It is Thomsen and Patterson.
Ben Claybrook, Curtis Bland, Jason Pebley, Jay Oakes, Brian Pasco, Stu Thomsen, Johnny Burke. Here we go. Race is canceled. Come back. You're not winning.